Well, first of all, let me also touch upon some issues. Of course, I agree in general with Mr. Nishat, and we constantly talk to each other, and we share our ideas. We are in a kind of agreement within in what we say. But there are a few areas that I want to comment. First of all, the weapons and ammunition left behind by the U.S. forces. Uh, I think to some extent, uh, the international community makes an exaggeration of that because there were two different type of weapons. First, the light weapons. After the collapse of the Republic, the light weapons, a lot of them were stolen from the depots of Ministry of Defense, and most of them were sold in the black markets in Pakistan. It was so fast that the supreme leader of Taliban had to make a decree saying that unless his authorization is there, nobody else is allowed to touch those depots. But it already vanished and it already was gone. And some of those weapons, like M4, M16, the people who have worked with the Ministry of Defense, they know it very well that the ammunition, you can only get it if you're a NATO member or a NATO member country can supply you with those ammunition. So in fact, once the ammunition runs out, it's a useless weapon. You can't use it. So that's why they prefer Russian weapons more than the weapons left behind by the Americans because it's so much in abundance in black market. You can find it as much as you want. And the second thing is the heavy weapons and like armored vehicles and so on. Even at the time of the Republic, a lot of them were not functioning. They are very expensive to run. They are very expensive to repair, and they are very expensive to maintain. Uh, and After 4 years of the Taliban, the majority of those vehicles are now like scrap. They cannot use them. They tried several countries to repair for them, but they couldn't do it. So that was one of the reasons that they resorted back to the Russian weapons, and they tried to repair and fix some of the abandoned Russian weapons from the past years. And Kandahar was the hub of that they collected the technicians and they tried to do it. The other thing, which is very important, I think, to the armed resistance and to resistance against the Taliban, to me, one of the things, the most important critical element that is missing, it is clear intent of the people. If the people have the intention to join their hands together and rise up against Taliban, they will Taliban will have a really difficult life. The strength of Taliban, it is the uh, like the lack of coordination or the lack of unity among the opposition groups. So if we fix this problem, I think the Taliban will have a serious problem to face. And I also believe that the biggest income the Taliban have, it's from the uh, drug smuggling, it's from the cultivation, it's from the smuggling of weapons. They are involved in so many illicit business, and these businesses are producing for them or making incomes millions and millions of dollars. So I think the assistance they receive from abroad is important, but the biggest income that they have is just inside Afghanistan. That they have an abundance of those things. So overall, I want to just conclude it with one thing. As Sun Tzu says in his book, that to first know yourself and then know the enemy, you will not be defeated in a thousand of battles. I think what we have a problem among ourselves is that we have not invested enough time to know ourselves, to know our failures, to know our shortcomings. And we have also not invested enough time to know the strength of the enemy and to know that what are the strengths of the enemies and what are the weaknesses. Once we do that, I think it makes our uh, like uh, goal easier to achieve.